So if you notice maybe like your teen was like bringing home the same type of like homework assignments or doing the same type of stuff, it was just like an essay, a PowerPoint, like a quiz, like my name is Dr. Amy Stewart and I've been an educator for over 20 years. And in this video, we're going to be diving into revitalizing education, high interest tutoring for teens. So as a former public school teacher and having, 120 kids at once, like I get that you got to grade things quickly, so I used to hate having to give essays, so I tried not to, but we had to for like the tests. And so you figure every 2 weeks or so we were supposed to give a test from like the district, and it would involve an essay, and I had 120 kids. So yeah, it would take me a while to grade essays. Like I try to and there's strategies on how to go faster, but it's just like, oh my gosh. I love a Scantron, right? Now they got Google Classrooms, Google Forms and quizzes and all that wonderful stuff, and great ways to like quickly grade things. So because teachers have all these other things going on, they are often going to pick things that they can grade quickly. And I understand you got 120 kids. Some people have more than that. And to have to sit and hand grade things and put like comments on everything, like it's very challenging to do that. However, on the student end, things get very boring. Like I remember in college, I went to I went to online college, but I also went to like in-person college. And a lot of the assignments, it was the same stuff. It was write an essay, do a discussion post. Like that's all I did. It was write paragraphs all through college. And then when I got into doctoral school, when I was taking my classes, it was literally like post that discussion by Sunday, and then it was a 10-page paper. Like it was the same song and dance every week. And I'm not saying I didn't learn something from the research, because I definitely did. But it got boring. So high interest tutoring with me anyway is a little different, because I'm not assessing for a grade. I'm not giving your kids assessments. Oh, they jumped up 2 reading levels. And there are great tutors that do that. There are tutors that help with SAT prep and getting into college and the college essays and the whole like capability. That is not what I do. And so the first thing I do is I know all of your kids' goals. So it is in a class of no more than 25 kids. So I do know specifically what they're working on, but I tell you why I choose group over one-on-one tutoring. I, as a learner, do not like having this constant back and forth with a teacher in front of everybody. Like I'm not raising my hand asking a zillion questions. What I do like to do, like I have a coach, right? And instead of, sometimes I'll show up live, but I like to look at things later. So she'll record and then watch it later. So I will record things. Doesn't matter. Do they have to be right there with me at 9 o'clock or like whenever we're meeting and sit for the hour? And do they have to be constantly asking me questions? No. What they can do is use their class link to ask a question, and they can even ask it anonymously. They can get their help. They can take their little notes. They can work on their own with their snack. They can work for 15 minutes and come back. Like they can do it on their phone and listen to it on the ride home from the bus, whatever works for them. And that is the beauty of tutoring versus public school. Like revitalizing education is really teaching your teen how they best learn. And some of us learn better when we have control over our schedule. Some of us learn better when we could absorb the information. And then I'll just ask you questions if I need it. I don't like it when people want to give me all of the directions. I don't like it when people want to give me all of the directions and tell me exactly how I have to do it. Just tell me what the end result is, and I'm going to figure it out. And if I have questions, I'll come along and ask. So in the way I do the high interest tutoring, that's how this works, is that your kid can ask me questions. I can share the question with the group. Obviously they can do it anonymously, but I'm going to share the question. I'm going to give the answer. We're going to talk about it, because if they have that question, I'm sure somebody else does. And it allows them to work at their own pace. So that's really one of the things that I like. But it also, for those kids that like, I used to have students that wanted to sit right next to me in my classroom and like, how's this look? Is this okay? And I'm here for those kids too. They have a zillion questions. They want me to look at it every single day. They want to send me email. Fine, whatever. I'll take a look at it. But I do know that some kids desire more verbal affirmation than other kids. Some kids just they feel the satisfaction of doing it on their own with just kind of using the resources that they have. So this allows not just for interest of topic, but high interest in their personal work and learning habits. And if your kid is going to go off to college, if they plan on going into even into the military or starting their own business or trade, they need to understand how their learning style is, because that is going to help them be more efficient. If they know that they need to work independently, if they know that they need to have somebody like right there with them, like to kind of coach them along, like all of this information to find out about yourself. I wish somebody had pulled me aside and told me this when I was 15 or 16. I think that I would make different choices with I don't know, maybe the college I went to, or maybe the industry that I got into, or like I think it would have helped me better when I was working on my dissertation, because it took me years. It took me years longer than it should have. And I had a zillion excuses about why I wasn't getting it done. But the reality of it is I wasn't really sure my working style. I didn't know how to hold myself accountable. Like I hadn't done the mindset work to teach me how to reach a goal without somebody breathing down my neck. I did not have those experiences. And I don't want your teen to have to learn those things because of a boss breathing down their neck. I don't want them to have to learn the hard way because they're about to flunk out of school or flunk out of college or get kicked out of the military. Like I don't want them to go so far because they don't understand the idea of them setting a goal and meeting it, or their health, whether it's mental health or physical health. Like I've always been heavy. I've always been chubby. I never learned about a goal and how to comfortably get there by myself. It's always there's a health risk, or you're pre-diabetic, or your knees are bad, or you can't fit on the ride at Busch Gardens. Like whatever the thing is that is keeping me from like living my best life. I didn't know how to set a goal and meet it because I would only respond to consequences. And so in high interest tutoring, the idea, one of the ideas is that they learn how to become intrinsically motivated, not getting motivated externally because they're going to get in trouble, because there's going to be a fire or a hammer is going to drop and now they have to move. We don't want to set our kids up like that. We want them to be able to just walk every day and just set goals and meet them and set goals and meet them and just kind of move towards their purpose. So I do have a free guide down below that can help your kids start becoming more engaged and setting some independent goals based off their high interest. You can check it out in the link below.